New England Gardening. This is the Gypsy or Zingarella fig tree cutting, the only cutting that I have. And I put an extra level or tier on top of this cup here. And my initial thoughts were, I was concerned that the one lone root that had developed, it looked iffy. So I threw this other cup on top of the cutting before these leaves came out and put a lot of moss in there. And I got exactly what I was hoping to get, but I didn't give it enough thought, because now that I have these roots, I don't want to lose them, because if you can see here, this is, I keep this in the bin, even though it has leaves. I keep it in the bin with the relatively newer cuttings that I've started, so it's a higher humidity. And I've had it out for a little bit, you know, not long, maybe 15 minutes, and it's 50% humidity. And this leaf here can't even take the weight of, I sprayed a little water. You can see it's wilting there. So, you know, this lone root on the bottom of the cup doesn't seem to be able to supply the moisture to this cutting. The cutting was long enough, you know, in hindsight, I think that maybe I could have cut it in half, but you know, who knows? I could have ended up with two dead cuttings. So I got this one long cutting here, but I have these roots that are in moss only, and I want to resolve that. I'm just going to have to, like, surgically go in there and remove this moss and then fill this cup up with soil so I could take advantage of these extra roots that have formed. But I don't get it, because it could be just I need to transition it, because that one root that is developed, you can see there, it's gotten quite large, and I'm surprised that this is wilting as quickly as it is. So yeah, I'm gonna have to gingerly remove this moss here and see if I can accomplish that, and then fill this top here up with soil. But other than that, you know, I'll put the cover back on. It seems to be doing pretty good. So it's just an extra long cutting that maybe I could have taken advantage of and cut in half. But you never know. As long as I have this one cutting here and some nice strong roots. So let's go ahead and fill this up with soil. I think I might put the cover on, let it recover a little bit first. Okay, so it's bounced back after being in the bin with 90% humidity. This is bounced back here. It's not wilting anymore. Now, I don't know what I can do here. If I need to just pick this stuff out. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was thinking of maybe cutting the cup in half and then taping it back together again. Now you might ask, well, why don't you just go ahead and put it in a 1-gallon pot? Well, I don't know. I think that soil might overwhelm this cutting. I know a lot of people, they transfer them and have problems. That's one of the things about these little cups here, keeping them in as long as possible, I think. You can regulate the moisture a little bit better. You know, I have to remember, it's 27 degrees again at night here in New England, and the high today is 41, and it's windy, so the wind chill factor is definitely in the 30s. So it's a lot different than if you were to take this cutting at this stage and pot it up into a 1-gallon like in July and August or June. You know, it's nice hot weather. So I got exactly what I wanted to get here, but without thinking about how I was going to handle the consequences. You can see even there's some roots forming on that side too. So I have a lot of roots here in this upper part now. Definitely couldn't, if I was to cut this, it couldn't support this growth on the top here. That would just they would all fall off. And so I don't think I would end up with 2 cuttings. But you can see on this side the cuttings are already, I don't know if that's stained from the moss. They're changing color there a little bit. So I want to get them into soil and out of this moss. They're really attached there. Maybe I should just cut this cup in half. I don't know if I can do it. Let's see. Okay, so maybe I only have 2. I just cut one side. I tried to rehydrate this. I don't want the roots. Sometimes, you know, look at all the roots there. There might be, oh no. So I did hydrate it, and they're not as welded to the plastic, so they've separated. Okay, that kind of worked out. Makes it easier for me to pick this moss out. Again, this is what I wanted, but I didn't think about how I was going to handle it after this point. Once I got the roots that I was looking for. So I cut another one of the clear plastic cups I had with the holes in it a little bit higher, so I can get these roots on the top here, sort of making a custom cup here. Let's see. What that's catching on. Okay, so I have the cup on there. I don't have to fill it up, but it gives me a little bit more height there to fill soil in. Let me get some tape. Okay, I've got my tape done. Fill the soil around the roots. I think it's going to like that better than the moss at this stage. I think this cutting is too long to go in a 1-gallon trade pot as it is. This is about the same room it would get for an air layer, I guess. Okay. Alright, so hopefully it's going to respond favorably to this transition. You can see there's still the same gap. It's up against the plastic there. But that's, you know, like the rest of the cup. But hopefully, you know, they work their way into the soil. So this is New England gardening. Trying to improve the growing conditions a little bit on this one Zingarella slash gypsy cutting, fig tree cutting that I have. And I'll get it in the bin under high humidity, and hopefully it's going to respond to having soil around those roots instead of the moss. Thanks for watching.